I finally found it. Now who's gonna stop me?
Hey there, my fireball-wielding princess savers. Today we're diving deep into the mushroom-infested, turtle-trooping world of Super Mario Bros., where the only thing thicker than Bowser's castle walls is the plot of this iconic game. And before we jump on that Goomba, let me tease your brain with this. Ever heard of a world where Mario decides to defy physics and logic? Well, stick around because we're going to explore the infamous Minus World, a glitch so bizarre it's like finding a warp pipe in your backyard that leads to your neighbor's kitchen. Now, let's go. In the early 1980s, the video game industry faced a massive downturn, famously known as the video game crash of 1983. It was a dark time, reminiscent of Bowser's Castle, with low-quality games flooding the market faster than Luigi runs from Boo. Enter Shigeru Miyamoto and Takashi Tezuka, the Mario and Luigi of game development, tasked with creating a new game for Nintendo's fledgling Famicom console. Miyamoto, who had already made waves with Donkey Kong, aimed to develop a game that was both accessible and challenging, a sort of Goldilocks zone for gamers. The concept was simple, a game where a character travels through different worlds, a theme inspired by Alice in Wonderland and the desire to explore new fantastical lands. This character wasn't just anyone, he was Mario, originally known as Jumpman in Donkey Kong. Why a plumber, you ask? Because the game scenarios involved underground pipes, and who better to navigate those than a plumber? It's logic, I promise. The development of Super Mario Bros. Was no small feat. Miyamoto and Tezuka worked with a small team, a common practice at the time, which wearing multiple hats was a part of the job description. The technical limitations of the NES were a significant hurdle. The console's limited memory and processing power forced the team to get creative. For instance, the iconic clouds and bushes in the game? Same graphic, different color. Talk about an efficient use of resources. Another ingenious solution was the creation of the game's scrolling levels. Instead of a series of static screens, Miyamoto wanted a smooth, continuous journey for Mario, which was groundbreaking at the time. This required some serious programming wizardry to achieve within the confines of the NES's hardware. And the music, composed by Koji Kondo, was another critical component. The main theme, known as the ground theme, is possibly the most recognizable tune in video game history. Kondo's challenge was to create music that enhanced the gameplay without becoming too tiresome, given the game's repetitive nature. He focused on creating catchy, upbeat melodies that matched the game's pacing, ensuring players wouldn't go weary of tunes even after hours of play. Super Mario Bros. Was a gamble in a time when the future of video gaming was uncertain. Nintendo set out to create a game that wasn't only fun but would also sell their console. The game had to be visually appealing, intuitive, and, most importantly, enjoyable enough to keep players coming back. It was a bold move, akin to Mario facing Bowser with nothing but a fire flower and some serious jumping skills. In the kaleidoscope world of Super Mario Bros., every character shines brighter than a power star in a dimly lit underground level. Let's start with our hero, Mario, a plumber catapulted from the gritty streets of Brooklyn to the fantastical Mushroom Kingdom. His leap from Donkey Kong's girders to stomping Goombas wasn't just a career change, it was a destiny calling. Originally, Mario's profession was set in stone, but those pipes weren't going to fix themselves, were they? Hence, a plumber he became. Because nothing screams adventure like plumbing, apparently. Then there's Luigi, the green-clad brother who proves that being a sidekick doesn't mean you're second best. Okay, maybe in the number of starring games, but definitely not in our hearts. Luigi's introduction in the multiplayer mode was a game changer, quite literally. It transformed Super Mario Bros. From a solo quest into a shared journey, fostering sibling rivalries and friendships alike. And let's not forget, Luigi jumps higher because, apparently, that's what your younger siblings do. Princess Peach, initially known as Princess Toadstool in the West, is the quintessential damsel in distress, but don't let her royal title fool you. Her knack for getting kidnapped by Bowser might seem like a plot convenience, but it's actually a clever gameplay mechanic to keep Mario and players on their toes. Over the years, Peach has evolved from a mere quest objective into a formidable character in her own right, driving home the point that even princesses can pack a punch, or at least elegantly float over their obstacles. And then there's Bowser, the spiky shelled antagonist with a penchant for princess napping, serves as the game's ultimate challenge. His motivation may seem as one-dimensional as his early pixel count, but let's face it, our hero needs a villain. Bowser's relentless pursuit of Peach and dominion over the Mushroom Kingdom provides the perfect backdrop for Mario's adventures. Plus, with Bowser, who would Mario rescue the princess from? Goombas? Please, they can barely walk straight without falling off of platforms. While the story of Super Mario Bros. Might not win any literary awards with its straightforward rescue the princess narrative, yet it's this simplicity that encapsulates the charm of the game. It's a tale as old as time, retold through the lens of a plumber in a magical world, proving that you don't need complex narratives to create a compelling gaming experience. The story's strength lies in its universality, a testament to the game design that focuses on fun, accessibility, and the universal appeal of jumping on things. Now, diving into the pixelated heart of Super Mario Bros., it's clear that the gameplay mechanics are the warp pipes that transport us from mere curiosity to a full-blown addiction. This isn't just about jumping and running. It's about redefining what a video game could be in an era where the term platformer was still being coined. One of its clear strengths is the seamless integration of control and challenge. Mario's ability to run, jump, and squash his enemies with precise control was revolutionary for the time. Before Mario, many games felt like you were trying to navigate a spaceship through a field of molasses. But here, Mario responded with such finesse that you think he was an extension of your own will. This responsiveness was critical as it made the game accessible to beginners while still offering a hearty challenge to arcade veterans. The introduction of power-ups turned the gameplay into a strategic endeavor. The Super Mushroom, Fire Flower, and the Starman didn't just make Mario stronger, they added layers of depth to how players approached each obstacle. Suddenly, a towering Goomba wasn't just a threat, but an opportunity to flex your fireball throwing skills. And let's not even get started on the strategic implications of Starman, because nothing says unstoppable like barreling through enemies to the sweet melody of invincibility. But perhaps the most groundbreaking aspect was the game's level design. Each stage was meticulously crafted, blending challenge, exploration, and reward in a way that felt both intuitive and rewarding. The levels introduced players to new mechanics gradually, allowing them to master skills at their own pace before throwing them into the deep end, or, in this case, Bowser's lava-filled castle. The hidden blocks, secret pipes, and warp zones were like a cherry on top of an already delicious mushroom cake. They encouraged exploration and replayability, offering secrets and shortcuts that felt rewarding to discover. The introduction of the side-scrolling format allowed the game to unfold like a story, with each level building upon the last. This wasn't just about getting from point A to B. It was a journey through diverse environments, each with its own set of challenges and enemies. From the overworld's sunny skies to the underground's eerie blue bricks, each setting was a new chapter in Mario's quest, culminating in the dramatic showdown with Bowser. These boss battles were the ultimate test of skill, combining everything players had learned into a final exam, with the princess's freedom hanging in the balance. And in the grand scheme of arcade history, Super Mario Bros. Didn't just hit the jackpot. It smashed the coin block of success so hard, it practically rained gold coins. Released in 1985, Super Mario Bros. Rapidly became more than just a game. It was a phenomenon, selling over 40 million copies worldwide. It didn't just set records, it was the record for a significant period. This game wasn't just flying off the shelves, it was warp zoning straight into players' hearts. And in terms of dollars, it's like every brick Mario smashed was lined with cash. But it's not just about the numbers, it's about the impact. Super Mario Bros. Became a cornerstone of pop culture, embedding itself in the fabric of society faster than you could say, "Mamma mia!" Mamma mia! It transcended the realm of gaming, inspiring merchandise, television shows, and even a Hollywood movie. Because nothing says cultural icon like a live-action adaptation that has fans and critics alike scratching their heads in bewilderment. And let's talk about Mario himself. The mustachioed plumber became the face of Nintendo, turning into a global mascot for video gaming. It's hard to imagine, but before Mario, video game characters didn't really have star power. Mario changed that all, becoming as recognizable as Mickey Mouse or Superman. And to think, all it took was a diet of mushrooms and the occasional star. But here's the kicker, folks. None of this would be possible without you, the gamers, the dreamers, the midnight oil burners. Your love for jumping on virtual turtles and rescuing pixelated princesses turned a simple game into a legend. So, if you've ever felt a surge of nostalgia at the opening notes of the Super Mario Bros. Theme, or spent hours trying to find all the warp zones, consider hitting that like button and subscribing. Because just like Mario needs power-ups, creators need your support to keep bringing you content that's as engaging as finding a secret one-up. But speaking of secrets, Super Mario Bros. Has more than just coins and power-ups hidden in those bricks. The Minus World, often hailed as the most infamous glitch in video game history, presents a fascinating study into the early days of game development and the unexpected ways players interact with digital worlds. The enigmatic level is officially known as World -1, but its legend has grown far beyond its simple moniker suggests. To truly appreciate the Minus World, one must understand the technical constraints of the era. Super Mario Bros. Was crafted with a fraction of the processing power and memory available to modern game developers. These limitations forced developers to be inventive, but also led to unforeseen quirks like the Minus World. Accessing the Minus World wasn't a straightforward affair. It required a precise series of actions in the game's first warp zone. Players discovered that by standing on the ledge of a pipe and performing a precise jump, Mario could glitch through the wall and enter a warp zone in a way not intended by the developers. This manipulation of the game's code allowed for players to enter the pipe marked for World 4, but instead of progressing forward, they found themselves in World -1. The Minus World itself is an underwater level, reminiscent of the game's other underwater stages, but with a twist. It's unbeatable in the normal sense. Once players reach the end, they're sent back to the start of the level, creating an endless loop. This particularly isn't just a glitch, it's a window into the game's underlying architecture. The level number, -1, results from the game's code not properly handling the glitched entry into the warp zone, defaulting to a value that doesn't correspond to any intended level, hence the negative designation. What makes the Minus World particularly captivating is its demonstration of emergent gameplay, a phenomenon where players find ways to interact with a game that its designers did not explicitly intend. It became a digital legend, a secret realm that challenged the very rules of gaming. Players shared rumors and methods for reaching this mysterious level, turning it into a rite of passage for enthusiasts and a testament to the community's ability to explore and exploit the game they loved. The existence of the Minus World also speaks to the early days of game development, a time when every byte was precious. The games were shipped with bugs that might never be fixed. Today, such a glitch would likely be patched out shortly after the discovery. In the era of Super Mario Bros., the Minus World became an integral part of the digital Atlantis that captivated players' imaginations and invited them to explore their favorite. And there you have a deep dive into the block smash, turtle stomping, as rescuing world of Super Mario that didn't just shape the landscape, but ran, jumped, fireballed its way into. From its humble beginnings to its of the king of the mushroom-infested kingdom of cultural impact, this game taught us that heroes come in all sizes, sometimes wearing overalls and always ready for adventure. So the next time you find yourself facing unsurmountable odds, just remember, Mario faced down a kingdom of Goombas, Koopas, and one particularly angry turtle, all for love. And if that's not a lesson in perseverance, I don't know what is. Now, if you'll excuse me, I've got some bricks to smash and a high score to beat. Until next time, keep gaming, and may your jumps always be super. If you enjoyed this dive into the history of Super Mario Bros., click this video here to see more from the Retro Reload. And as always, thank you for watching.